circuit contact.
Drifting is a sideways evolution from traditional motorsports. Each driver competes for points given out by a select panel of judges. The three major scoring criteria are line, angle and style. Together they form a score out of 100. Line is a racing line marked out by clipping points. Drivers need to consistently hit these areas to score maximum points. Angle is how much rear slip angle a car produces. Competitors need to engage as much opposite steering lock as possible to receive a higher score. Style is a combination of driving technique, showmanship, brake application, throttle control and overall driver ability. Teams and drivers have 2 laps in qualifying to start the competition. The top qualifiers move through into a seeded battle tree, battling through each bracket until the top 4 drivers compete for the final podium. A drift battle requires each driver to take turns leading and chasing. The lead driver's objective is to match or better their performance in qualifying. The chase car's objective is to get as close as possible to the rear quarter of the leading car, using it as a mobile clipping point. The judges' lineup for the 2019 season features a wealth of experience as Brendon returns as line judge. More than 15 years in the sport, a D1NZ veteran and series technical advisor with 35 points up for grabs. Dan Mackey is back again, based out of Sydney with the High-Tech Drift Australia Series, another driver with more than 15 years experience. He's been a drift judge since 2013, as well as joining the lineup for the annual International Drift Challenge as part of World Time Attack. Our third and final judge for the weekend is former Pro Series driver Zach Pohl. Based out of Auckland, driving a new 900 horsepower RB28 Nissan S15, Zach joins us as style judge for the weekend. More than 10 years in the sport with experience overseas competing in the BDC, as well as some iconic wins during multiple D1NZ campaigns against the one and only Mad Mike Woodard. Well, round 3 brings us to the northern Waikato as the chase at Hampton Motorsport Park gets underway. It is the halfway mark of the 5-round championship. The points race is heating up before we head to Pukekohe Park Raceway in just 2 weeks' time. This weekend though, we are drifting on the 1.2 kilometre club circuit. We're out of the concrete stadiums and onto the faster racetracks. It's still a standing start though, off the line, 2 outside clipping zones to start the scoring section. Judges will be looking for fast switches and big angle off the straight. From the outside zone, it is through the centre section. Speed and consistency in flow is important this weekend. Drivers need to find the fastest line between this late inner clip and second inner apex on the left, flowing out wide on the right hand side of the track before switching through to an outside zone on the left hand side, and then putting the power down to dive through to the final inside clip to finish the course. And there is the judges lineup and track rundown for the weekend ahead. It is round 3 of the 2019 D1NZ Drifting Championship Series, Hampton Downs Motorsport Park this weekend. Tune in live thanks to Black Lion Tyres.
Welcome back. That was the chase. The chase, of course, round number 3 of the D1NZ National Drifting Championship. That was the judging lineup. Great to see a new judge step back into his role here this weekend. Zach Pohl, of course, the OG giant killer. Of course, used to campaign the R33 Skyline. And now he's going to be behind the wheel of a 900 horsepower S15 Sylvia. Not on track this weekend as a drifter, but certainly going to be making his point heard as one of our 3 judging judges. He's taking care of the style judge this weekend. Of course, out of a competitor out of BDC in the UK. And of course, we've seen him in the past here at D1NZ. So driving out on track now is our Pro Sport qualifiers. Of course, qualifying for D1NZ, each driver gets the opportunity to put down a qualifying run. They get to do that twice, and at the end of it we will find out who will be our qualifying champion. Now I believe we might be going to the top 16 this weekend. Haven't had it confirmed, sorry, I didn't read everything I should have, so very naughty me. But of course, the qualifying for the D1NZ Pro Sport Championship brought to us by Turbosmart. Out on track, the Cave NZ Cooper Tyres R32 Skyline of Kurt Blackie's. And Charlie Bond Walsh has been set loose and will take on the front straight here So we'll see the cars move from one side, and then we want to see them very sideways, possibly not sideways enough for Charlie Bond Walsh coming through the first section here. Slight correction coming through. And then we'll come through to this second big sweeping turn, hits the inside clip, runs out a little bit wide, will set himself up for the big sweeper, outer zone, and then powers on through. And at this point here is the finish of our section for the D1NZ. So scruffy start, but of course it's the first qualifier, no straight lines in that one there, so we will see. Machine select line 17, angle 14 style, marked down to the 11, 42-point run, so it's going to be enough to go through for tomorrow, but certainly a run that Charlie Bond Walsh will be looking to improve. Taylor James, his first run of the day. So we'll see how Taylor goes. He goes right out to one side. Yeah, that's the angle that the judges ultimately want to see. A bit correction though comes through, but he does hit that inside clip coming out to fill out the outer zone. Again, setting himself up for this tricky second section of the course. Wheels still nicely locked as Taylor James, nice flowing run. Of course, Taylor James at the pointy end of the championship as well after the first and second rounds. Here we go, here is our score line, 21.5, angle, that's huge, 27, style 16, first point, 64.5 run for Taylor James. There's Aaron Hyde out of New Plymouth in the Nissan Silvia S14 with that Monster 2 JZ power plant. Certainly trying to hit that outside clip coming through this first corner here at Hampton Downs, filling out the outer zone, and then sets himself up again for this inside clip. Slight correction, and he's about a metre off the line. He needs to be coming through this section and winds on up to finish, coming out. Huge angle too. Now, well, that was interesting. I don't know if that was a straight line towards the end. The cones that we see at the end of the track, that in theory should be a 0. We'll find out. Yes, no, there's a score the same. Line 19, angle 21, style 15, second place with a 55-point run. So obviously he had finished the section. My commentary area, I can't quite see that part of the track. Let's have a look at the third car to qualify, which will be Andy Donoghue in the HK Upholsterers machine. Big correction coming through, but gets up on the loud pedal again. Let's see what Andy Donoghue can do as he comes through the second turn here at Hampton Downs with the chase, round 3 of the D1NZ 2019 Drift Series. Very wide, right on the clip, and powers out through the sweeper. Team 33 will be stoked to see that man dialing in to be David Hunter. Let's have a look at Andy Donoghue. Oh, he's moved into second position, 21 on line, 22 on angle, style of 12, a run of 55 points, current position, second for Andy Donoghue. Now, we're meant to be seeing David Hunter. Now, I can tell you that I went to go up and give him stick about his car because it's an RB. Saw what looked like a decent-sized hole somewhere, and that was, dialing on way too much angle, but certainly exciting the world. Is Alec Griffin going out for his first run of qualifying in the Rat King S15. Bear of the world as Stocky comes through. Needs a, certainly not on the line, I'd say, that Brendon Dunk would want to see. We'll find out from, we'll have a chat to the judges, of course, during the day. But and fourth place, current position, 51.5 score for Alex Griffin, line 18, angle 20.5, 13 in style. So fourth position for Stocky. Now Sean Potros will be the next car out on track, the choice events machine. First run, great round number 2 for Sean Potros. RB25 DET Neo, producing about 350 kilowatts, 470 horsepower. And we'll see how much angle he can dial on as he comes into the first section. Comes through the first turn, pushes out nice and wide. Now that's where the judges would like to see these cars before they set themselves up and dive down to hit the inside clip. So you can see certainly a big difference in line between the first run that we saw from Alex Griffin and what we're seeing now from that pretty and pink 719 choice events machine. Rubber absolutely flying off. Looked like a correction, but no, that was the finish of the section as the next car out on track. So look, second position moves up into a 60.5. The winner of round number 2, line 19, angle 26.5, huge score, and style 15. Second place, Sean Potros. So Matty Brown will be the next car who will take on the track first. His first qualifying run. Oh, and it's a huge mistake. That mistake's... Well, we'll see if he holds on to it. The judges might just mark him ridiculously bad, but Mungy's all the way through. And the At Pace Solutions 180. And actually does bring that car to a... Well, that was a big straight line coming through. I'm assuming that we'll go probably a 0 for that big mistake, but there's a word called reinitiation. I like to use it all the time to see if I can get drivers through. And there we go, line 0, angle 0, style 0. I thought the style was certainly up there. So that was a 0 score for the first one up. Let's have a look at Atlan Norman in the Precision Roofing Nissan S15. So comes up and sets himself up nicely. We can't see how square the car is from this camera angle. That's fine. The judges certainly can from what they're doing. They're the only one that matters. Oh, there's a huge mistake coming through for Atlan Norman. Atlan Norman dives down to try and hit that inside clip before coming up to the top there. And shortly we'll welcome to the commentary box none other than Brendon White. So coming through, finishing off. Some glorious looking cars. I mean, the appearance has certainly lifted up in the game, haven't they, over the last couple of seasons?
Yeah, Atlan Norman currently in 7th position, 16 on line, 15 on angle, and 10 on style. Zach Pole coming into style. That's pretty cool to see. ZP Drift, he's an RB man. VIP Kaki. Now, this guy's really come out this season. Jordan Joyce, very stylized, beautiful looking S13, and he's come out with vengeance for a newcomer on the block.
Well, he certainly is. Jordan Joyce, we're certainly welcoming him here to the D1NZ. Great to have him here. And sitting down. Now, he's been somebody that's really stood up and said, hey, look at me. I'm a new drifter, but I'm an old hand at what I'm doing. And you can see it from the sort of the line. Look at the smoke billowing out the back end of that beautiful VIP car care S13 as he comes through. Slide bobble as he comes through and finishes off. This is the scary part because a lot of people that have...
that end bit seems to be bellowing out. 21, 24 and 13. So Zach Pole actually scoring quite harshly to start off with. Maybe he's just getting in his groove. But the other judges really liking that. Currently in 3rd position for Jordan Joyce.
Well, I think looking at the way that Zach Pole's been scoring, he's been scoring the same way the whole way through. Maybe it's just the other judges are starting to be nicer as qualifying goes on. Of course, qualifying in the D1NZ Pro Sport Championship brought to us by, of course, qualifying sponsors.
Panhead
qualifying.
Yep. And
Turbosmart, the name on the side of every Pro Sport car here on the D1NZ.
That's right. So this is actually shared. So this car's being shared. Aaron Hyatt and Russell Veer. Russell Veer unfortunately blew his car up. Lots of mechanicals this weekend here at Hampton Downs for the chase. Why do we call it the chase? Well, this is the one where you actually, you're in that sort of midpoint of the season. So those that drop back in the championship order, because it's a championship fight, the cameraman just gets his mojo going, gets the thumbs up. They've really got to get up the points ladder. So it's very tight right now. So right now we've got actually Russell Veer out on track right now, and this is his first run in already what has been a lent car from Chad McKenzie to Aaron Hyatt is now being lent to Russell Veer as well.
So I guess you've got to go and get on the Chad. But that's just, look, that's a little bit wider than what we've seen, and that's what we want to see as well. Russell Veer, it's his first full season of the D1NZ Pro Sport Championship. Great to have all these new faces that are joining us here for drifting action as we see him set up for the sweeper. Comes through a nice tidy lap.
Very tidy, very tidy for a car that he hasn't been in. For him. Let's
have a look at Russell Veer. So line 17.5, angle 25, style. There's a slightly larger score with 15 for Zach Pole, 57.5 for Russell Veer. Great first up run for him. Let's have a look at the Pronto Automotive machine as he comes through into the first section. So this is the first. We've got to go up and send it one way and hard on the handbrake, but gets back on the loud pedal. Adam Camplin. Oh, that's a huge mistake. You want to see fluidity, and you can see that snapback in return onto his preferred line will be marked very far down by the judges, but kicks it into the final sweeper, that big sweeping right-hander, and comes through the cone line, finishes off for... well, the start, the finish looked down, so he's been doing a lot in practice. He said he's pretty happy. Adam Camplin, line 10, angle 13, style 5 because of the first half of that run. Current position 10th with a run of 28 points.
All right, Kurt Blackie in the cave. CooperTyres.co.nz, R32. Steve, Tauranga local, favourite for you?
Oh, look, Tauranga boys, always my favourites. Actually, drifting's my favourite. As he starts with a big dirt turbo, and that's going to be an instant markdown, but we'll see what maybe the judges didn't see it. It was a perfect 100-point score. And we see him come up nice and high, dials himself in, and he needs to come through and hit that inside clip. We can see it just there, and then washes out.
Yeah, one thing the judges said is don't go too low coming through that midsection or you'll miss that clip. Nice fluid run there from Kurt Blackie. Fluidity is something that they did say. Lots of angle. In Zach Pole's exact words, he said, just man up.
All right, line 21.5, ankle 23, style at 15th, third position. Kurt Blackie told me he wants to score high, and that's not a bad way of doing it with a 59.5. Point pass, black line. They bring us a live stream. Black line on the side of Adam Whitehead's A31 Safiro. Let's see what Adam can do. Big angle coming through that first section. Looks like he may have run a little bit high, but we'll find out as he comes through. Hits the inside clip. This is actually looking like a very solid run to start for Adam Whitehead. And the black line, Kill It Daily, A31 Safiro. Slight correction just to bring him a little bit higher up track. And then look at, oh, there's a big bobble for Adam Whitehead as he comes through to finish the section. Certainly enjoying having Adam as part.
Kelly is his TTI. We'll go this first. Look at that. Adam Whitehead moves up to first position, 22, angle 27.5. So the angle judge
huge
really
angle.
liking that. So that's Mackie, I think, and style judge ZP 16. So not too bad. Eddie Heyman, the return of the lone soldier. He's been away for a while, but it's great to see Eddie Heyman back.
That's how you dial on far too much angle, but style. I think Zach Pole's going to be enjoying this one here, and he comes right up and hits the dirt. Eddie loving being back in the Pro Sport Championship of the D1NZ. Round number 3, the chase, Hampton Downs this weekend. Dials up to take on that big sweeping right-hander to finish off the circuit. It's I can't see it being the highest score, but certainly one of the more fun passes that we've seen in qualifying.
Yeah, it's cool to see. Oh, there we go, Eddie Heyman 10th. So hey, look, he's going to be happy with that. It's points on the board. You know, again, line wasn't too bad for him, but the others not so good. But he's in the show. He's in the show,
yeah. And that's the important thing. Set a score. There's only one driver who hasn't set a score today. Michael Thorley, his first run of qualifying, and he is the last qualifier. He is at the very pointiest end. He is leading the championship. So let's have a look at the NZ Laurel as he comes through. Slight dirt turbo coming through this into the second turn, and looks like he set himself up quite nicely to take that inside clip. Powers back on through, big mistake, and what has happened here? Now, that is as straight can get. Let's hope it's not a mechanical issue. It was just a mistake, but championship.
Yeah, again, championship hunting on the chase. The NZ C34, 33.4, I think you call it, because it's got an R34 front on it. Yeah, it gets a really good hit on that inner clipping point, and right here,
you saw just before he came through, the whole car just weight shifted and bobbled over, and that might have been something breaking there. Looks like everything's fine. Maybe axle.
Good question. We'll find out very shortly. So look, hey, I see you guys liking on the live stream. Welcome to the chase. Hampton Downs joining here with Steve. SM, you're actually going to shoot off and also do some commentary for Speedway tonight?
No, I was going to be doing some commentary, and then I decided, you know what, stuff Speedway, let's just stay here.
Ooh, yeah. Here. So, hey, look, there's some iconic events on tonight. There's obviously Waikato Park, Sparks in the Dark, but there's also Western Springs.
Yeah.
Which was going to be the last night, but it's not.
Yeah, it's been pushed on. So, Western Springs Speedway, they've, of course, if you've been following it, the 90-year-old track, been given that out you go. But they've been given a year's reprieve, from what I understand. Michael Thorley, position 14, zeros all the way through. No one wants a donut.
Yeah, so he's actually sitting at the bottom of the pack at the moment. Bottom of the pack for Michael Thorley. Now, I see a few people on the live stream tuning in. Gives us a shout out. Hey, Mitch, hello. Yes, Ben White, you should be here, because he is going to be having maybe a bit of a guest appearance there. So we've got Charlie, who had a massive, unfortunate crash in Wellington. He actually lost his whole front left-hand suspension. It's horrible to see, but not this time.
Not this time, as he comes through that last section there. He's set a nice run to start. I think we'll certainly see an improvement. All right, let's have a look at the second run today for Taylor James. As I mentioned, see the white stuff on the side of his car that could have your name on it. Is that an improvement? Second run of 52, moves into current position 9, 17, 22, and a 13. Charlie Bonwalsh moves up the order. Well, let's see what Taylor James can do in the Sponsor Me Central Drift Team S14. Sylvia gets on the gas. Well, it looked like he was going to go quite shallow through this section, but he actually did come through to hit that clip. Let's see what he can do as he comes through the second half of this run. Looks like he might have grabbed that inside clip nicely. He's filling up his zones. This is a solid run for Tay J. Is it going to be enough to beat Adam Whitehead, who's currently sitting on the top spot? Yeah, Taylor James, loving what he's seeing. Big shout out to everyone who is watching at home as well. So the next car will be the Cactus Vape S14, and I knew it was a nice run. The judges agree with me. 70.5s. Angle, huge, 31.5. Zach Powell giving him a 17. I think that was his best score. Brendon Dunker happy with line with a 22, and that will move him into first position with a 70.5. Taylor James moves to the top of the leaderboard. Aaron Hyatt, his second run in the Cactus Vape S14. Big drag race down the front straight, and then hits that double, that big mungie to start. Comes off that inside clip, misses it slightly, but will set himself up. Now, if you get it wrong at the start, we do see this in drifting, that you can't actually manage to regather it back, but comes through, hits the clip, goes through the sweeper. Let's see how he goes. All right, here we go. Line 20.5, angle 17, style 13, current position 7th with a 50.5 in the second run. That was not going to be enough to improve from the first, so we will sit off the 55 for Aaron Hyatt that he did in the first run. Let's go straight to the HK Upholsterers. Laurel of Andy Donahue, his second run of the day. It's a big angle to start. Probably not enough angle, but we'll see. It doesn't really matter, I'm sure. The judges come through. They'll see him hit that inside clip before washing out to the outside. And then a big flick to try and bring the nose down. We can't quite see from our commentary box that inside clip coming through the second turn, but loud pedal. Here we go, Andrew Donahue. And what do we got? It was an improvement after his first one. Line is 19. Angle was good with 23. Style 14. 56-point run in his second run. Current position 7th for Andy Donahue. Let's see what the Rat King S15 Barra power plant, the big Barra of the world. It's Alex Stocky Griffin. So Stocky comes through this section here, nice and high through the first turn. Sets him up for the second turn. Always fast. And sometimes it's the speed that costs Stocky. Flies into the fern, often a lot faster than some of these other drivers. As you see, the big dirt turbo to finish comes through this section, and let's see. And oh, he's got a very big improvement after his first run. 57.5 angles where he got it. 17 on line, 25.5 an angle, and style of 15 for 6th position for Alex Stocky Griffin. Stocky moves up. So that's going to push Andrew Donahue back. He was in 6th after his last run. Let's have a look. It will be Sean Potros coming through for his next run. Nissan Silvia S14 running the RB25 Det. Just under 500 horsepower. I'm absolutely reading the wrong thing, actually. He is running... Yeah, no, that's correct. Sorry. Still SMP Motorsport. Very choice-looking car. All right, let's see what he can do as we see those rear wheels start to spin and we accelerate down the front straight here at Hampton Downs. All right, so he gets on the gas, needs to bring the tail of that car up, probably 1.5 meters off the optimum, and on the handbrake, hard to set himself up, does grab that inside clip, narrowly missing that clip there. So a smooth run, a fluid run, slightly offline, so I think we'll still see good angle and style points, but I think we may see Brendon be moving into the Galore Parts Group Pro after this. 21.5 for line, 28 in angle. I said it'd be good angle. Wow, 66.5 for second position. Sean Potros doing a great job. So let's have a look at this run here for Matthew Brown. Looks like he was a little bit wide coming through. 2 wheels off. Just looking at the screen up, we've got Taylor James, Potros, Whitehead, Blackie, and Joyce. That's your top 5. But back to, and I think that's going to be all she wrote for the second run for Matty Brown.
The judges on our channel, but they're probably watching replays as we speak. No, there we go, Matthew Brown, 14th. So he gets 16. He's good.
Yeah, well, he's very lucky because
3. He got a 3, a 6, and a 7. So they've been very lenient.
Yeah, he's probably very lucky. So what we've seen there is, I mean, they needed to find a score. The judges, look, one thing we don't want to see is cars not qualifying. Yeah. There was a huge reinitiation. So for some, it might have looked straight, but that point there is essentially transferring one direction and then having to clutch kick it or whatever he did to reset the car back up again for that last turn, and I think that's probably where we saw it. But anyway, let's go to Atlan Norman.
Currently sitting in 12th position for qualifying. Chucks it to the right, chucks it to the left. Good angle and aggression there from Atlan Norman. Position, a bit of a bob on the front wheel, but pretty nice. Oh, dude.
Well, that was only 4 wheels off, I think. Might have been 3 if he was lucky.
Commentator's curse. So one thing that's plaguing the field today is mechanical drama.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately for the fans at home, I have to let you know that Jaron Olive Corona in the Parts Straight S14 is out.
What?
The box on that one's gone. So really unfortunate for Jaron Olive Corona in the Parts Straight S14.
So have you already given up the box in the in your car? Because
that's already been asked for from another driver.
Oh man, I'll give you money myself.
We dissect that. Unfortunate for Jaron. Darren Kelly is also looking to borrow that box out of the
Or maybe we can talk to Rattler. They've got 2 cars down there.
There we go. Maybe he could. He hasn't. Jaron, if someone wants to lend Jaron the car from Pro Sport, now's the time.
For Pro.
Jaron Olive Corona for Pro. Yep. David Hunter, unfortunately, out as well.
I went to give him stick a little bit earlier in the day because I was like, just have a little bit of an RB dig. And then I looked in there and I'm like, I probably shouldn't see the hole that I was looking at.
First lap of the day right out the side. So really unfortunate for David Hunter. Ben Jenkins, also his car is out.
Wow.
Snapped the drive shaft and it actually came through the floor. So the Toyota's Galore GD86. But he is going to share. He is going to share the car with Troy Jenkins. So double duties.
I was going to say, you should have used Matty Hill's car.
Matty, yeah. All right, Jordan Joyce up on screen right now because right now we are in the Turbosmart HQ. Like them on Facebook, and it's the Pro Sport qualifying.
Well, second run for Jordan Joyce in the VIP Car Cares machine. He has been a man to watch since he's come to D1NZ. Hasn't got to the top spot of the championship after the round, but certainly I would expect to see him do it maybe once this season the way he's been driving. He comes through this last section here. We saw him qualify really, really well after the first run ago, and it was the same thing. Heavily weighted on the front half. After that, it's like, just keep yourself smooth. You're going to score. Let's have a look. 4th position has improved. I didn't think he was going to, but 61 points, 21.5, 22.5 in angle, and style of 17 for 4th place. Jordan Joyce moving up the leaderboard.
All right, so pro drivers are now getting ready for their pro qualifying coming up. It's all the pro drivers are lining up in the grids as we speak now. Now, this is the borrowed car. Again, Russell Veer is on his second pass. This is actually Chad McKenzie's car. If you wind back a couple years ago, Chad McKenzie actually dropped a knee at the Pukekohe Grand Final before Liam Burke and put a ring on it. Good angle there from Russell Veer. Switches on through. Nice. Loud pedal down. Is it going to be aggressive switch here? Nice and fluid. Bit of a hammy on there. E-brake, as I would say, in America, and finishes the section out. rounds that are usually really aggressive and abusive on the cars. They've just come here. Russell Veer now goes to 6th position.
Wow, nice one. But he actually dropped a little bit less than what he did. He certainly doesn't care that he's driving somebody else's car, pumping in a really good score. Next car out on track, though, will be Adam Camplin out of North Shore, Auckland, in the Mazda FCRX7 1.2 JZ, producing just over 530 horsepower. So the Pronto Automotive machine comes through in that FC. Hits the outer clip nicely. This is a good start to the run. Will shallow up slightly to hit that inside clip, and then does his best to wash out, chucks 2 wheels off. We're going to see the points certainly drop for Adam Camplin, but he's already in the show as he comes through the right-hander. Well, it is second run time for Kurt Blackie, the Cooper Tyres mate. Going to be the Cave NZR32. Adam Camplin, 13th position. It was an improvement after the first run, but certainly not enough to get himself right to the pointy end. 12, 17, 11, that was the score. 13th place current position for Adam Camplin. But now it's time for Kurt Blackie to try and improve his score. He said he wanted to qualify well. It was his first time here at Hampton Downs. Let's see what he can do as he backs it in.
Well, that was aggressive. The doctor could have been in the house, but not this time. He won't take that title. Kurt Blackie, unfortunately, that's all 4 wheels off. It was a good try. If he had pulled it off. Try. You see this a lot at Hampton Downs. You see, look at the marbles out there.
It's been interesting to watch. So these tyres get a lot of heat in them. If you come slightly offline, of course, you pick up all those marbles and they actually stick to the tyre and create massive vibrations, etc. You've got to be careful. But Kurt Blackie, instant zero. 3 big round circles. Chucks in a Super 6. Is he going to... Oh, we can't see. My fastest ever time with a 10.9.
Woo, that was awesome there. So Jason, Daniel and all the team, all the grid team in the sun all day. That was a good sprint there. Adam Whitehead, so it's the Black Line live stream, and this is the Black Line A31 of Adam Whitehead from Hawke's Bay as the wastegate goes poof, and that is a backie. Will he be able to save it? No, it's a
of course he can, but he's just going to save it in the form of cutting the corner. Wow.
Did he score on the first run, Steve?
He scored well. Now, he was sitting, I think, in 6th position, so certainly at the top end of Pro Sport. Not quite in the top 4, but enough to see himself into the main game when we go into the top 16. So current position, 3rd. Actually, he's a lot higher than he was. I was wrong. 65.5, so 3rd place for at AW Drift 31. Check them out on Instagram, of course, if you are looking to follow some of these drivers here. So great to be here at the club circuit of Hampton Downs Motorsport Park, International Motorsport Park. Let's see what Eddie can do. He certainly didn't want to back it in quite as far as... Hits the inside clip, just a slight wheel drop, that'll be fine, and sets himself up for that second turn. Just misses the inside clip this time here and heads up to the sweeper. All right, we'll come through.
Thank you, Kenny. Eddie Heyman.
16.5, 19 in angle. Style with 13. Current position 11th with a 48.5. Not improving from his first run. Somebody that needs to improve from his first run. I'm not a firm believer of a commentator's curse, but I'll let you talk this one out. Michael Thorley needs to put a score on the board.
All right, Michael Thorley should be playing it safe on this one. He's going to chuck it in. There goes the Mungie to the right-hand side. He switches back through. Good angle, sliding through into the outside clipping point there. Nice angle coming through, turn 1, pushes it out nice and wide in the NZC 33.4, hits that inner clipping point. All he wants to do is put points on the board here. Nice big aggressive switch.
That's it, hold on to it. I just didn't want to say anything in case he chucked down a 0, but he knows that he's going to finish off the section, and that will be points on the board going.
That lens for battles. Now look at that.
Oh, there we go.
Michael Thorley.
So 0 in his first run, but a 22.5. Angle 24.5. The judges liking it. And 19 in style. Moving into 3rd position. Overall, 66-point run. Maybe I was wrong.
Yeah, no, I definitely liked the run from Thorley. A good initiation. He had a good angle coming into that first pass. Now, if you guys are tuning in on the live stream, big thanks to Black Line Tyres. Hampton Downs tomorrow is a place to be purely because this track lends it to battles. The judges have actually made it that the chase car, much like Wellington, they could cut in on the corner to get a really good battle in proximity, and we saw that in Wellington, so it's good to see this track has some epic battles.
Yeah, we certainly want to see them knocking on those doors as such, so So yeah, so let's have a look and see. I think we're going to have a top 10 leaderboard show up shortly. We can go and tell you who finished. There we go. So in 10th place was Aaron Height with a 55, moving up into Andrew Donahue with a 56. A whole heap of them actually, Alex Griffin and Russell Vere in 7th and 8th place with a 57.5 before moving to Kurt Blackie in a 59.5. Jordan Joyce with a 61. Then we move up to 4th place, Adam Whitehead with a 65.5. Brendon, the top 3.
Yeah, Michael Fawley, you know, he's still in that championship run. 66, he's going to be stoked with that. Sean, now he had an epic round, so he is in that championship fight. And someone who wants that championship right in front of him is Taylor James. He had an epic catastrophe round last round, so he's going to be pumped with that. And he was 4 points pretty much ahead of everybody else, so he's delivered the good. Taylor James is your Panhead Pro Sport qualifying number 1.